Hello? That
Turn
better?
it up a little bit more. Again, just like
Better,
last
better,
week.
better, or worse?
Put the mic on your lips, baby.
Yo, why you keep doing that, man?
He's a
Keep doing it.
test. 1, 2. Yo, 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 it's your
All right.
boy.
Start the show.
We in this bitch for sure.
Bust a rhyme, John.
Welcome to Cancel Us Later. Yeah. Welcome.
Oh my God.
No choice but to have a voice. Take notes, you might learn from a quote. Tune in, turn it up wherever you at. This ain't your ordinary podcast, not for the fake, only for the real. What you wanna say, it's said over here. Game tight, holding airwaves for ransom. It's all love though, please don't cancel.
Welcome to another episode of Cancel Us Later, man. I got my boy Pop, John, Vic, and motherfucking Sim. Hey, man, a lot of shit happened this week. Before we even get into it, you know what I'm gonna ask. How was y'all week, fellas? Go ahead, John.
Everybody at once.
Go ahead, John.
Shit. I had a pretty solid weekend, man.
What'd you do?
Caught up with some old friends. Just chilled.
What kind of old friends? Like, we want some details, baby.
You know,
Did you see the doctor in the last week, nigga?
I can't even say, but I'll say this. The newest current events has really got your boy a little frightened. I'll say that much.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Was a capstone of my weekend, right?
We'll get into that. Pops, how was yours, man?
It was straight, man. Took my kids to a birthday party, and then we ended up just staying the whole time. So it was a nice little vibe.
Okay. Vic, how was yours, brother?
It was great, man. Been going to church a lot lately, dog.
Praise the Lord.
Trying to get involved in some type of ministry, man.
Yes, sir.
But and another thing, the boys, bro, that shit is good as hell this season. For real, man. That shit is good, dog.
Vic on Vic.
Yeah.
You said what? You say?
Hey,
What'd he
was
say?
this week the last episode, Vic?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
only
Yeah,
six.
it
Only
threw
6
me off. I'm
episodes.
like, oh, shit. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that shit was good, man.
Yeah. Hey, Sim, what about you?
Oh, you know, my
Who
week
you
was...
criticized this week?
Huh? Who did I criticize? I might criticize your ass with that corner stick popping out, nigga. I see that white fucking corner up there.
Look at him, bro. Look at him. Ridiculous.
Hey, perfectionist, nigga. My great. I came in contact with West Africans, man. They trying to put me on the scammers game, bro. They out there told me about the fake Gucci, the fake Christian Dior, all that shit. I'm trying to get put up on game. So if y'all need some shit, holla at me. Nah, I'm just playing. But nah, my week was straight.
I appreciate you putting African brothers that way, but
I don't go fuck, nigga. They
well,
do
hold
that.
on. Let's talk. Well, before we get into this, let's talk about it because Africans don't really fuck with African Americans. They don't even call us African Americans. They call us black, but that's for another show, though.
I love
we
nigga.
are black though.
Huh?
We are black.
Are we black or are we African American?
This
We're
nigga.
black Americans.
Okay.
Black.
I mean, like I said,
Foundational black
but
Americans.
I get it. But like you said, you said our African brothers.
And drones.
You
They
said
don't
you said what?
considering us.
They might not be, but they kids gonna be Black Americans. So.
Yeah,
Black.
Yeah,
exactly.
that is true. That is true.
Exactly. Them
You
Africans.
saying they gonna have
Them
some
Africans are
cops
something
running
else,
around?
boy. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it, fellas. Let's go ahead and just break it off with the most talked about shit that happened this week. Everybody's losing the majority of America is losing their minds about what's going on, about what has been passed in reference to Roe versus Wade. Basically saying that the federal government ain't putting no restrictions on no states in reference to abortions. The states have the will to do whatever they choose to do within their state when it comes to abortions. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Pop, I know you were very passionate about it, my brother. Yeah. Hey, let me tell the audience something. Pop was like, hey, y'all better do y'all motherfucking research on this shit, man. And I'm like, well, hold the fuck up. I mean, I do my research on all this shit, but damn, man. Let me really dig into this shit. But, go ahead, Pop. What you think, brother? You know?
I mean, I think mainly this is more of a political play, you can say. It's more just about politics. The people who put this, who made this happen, they don't really care about the issue. These are mainly older white men who don't give a fuck about the issue. It's just a point that they got something done and now it looks good for their party. Outside of that, they don't care. They don't care. It was only supported, 33% of the country supports what happened. That's it. So it's not even a popular.
33% of who they polled, right? 30% of those polled.
I mean, all polls are,
reflect. I mean,
a representation of.
But we can't say that is a good representation of the country,
though. So why have any polls then? You don't do any polls?
That's the point. You remember when they ran polls during the Trump and campaign? It was way off. It was a lot more people.
That don't matter though.
And that's what I'm saying. So that 33% that didn't approve of it, throw that out the window. It's bad data, is what I'm saying.
Most of the people living right now grew up in a world where abortion was legal, so they don't even know a world without it. And then there's not given enough of a plan afterwards to really decide how things are going to go. You have states right now that's trying to change their state constitution to where that it can't be changed by the next governor or senator or something like that. That shit is whack as fuck. That shit is crazy.
I mean, if it's left into the state's hands, and I personally think, just as a basis, it's okay for the states should have a little bit more control over what they decide and what they want to do in their states.
Nigga, we're a
but but it's still states' rights. I mean, it's certain.
You said we are what? Free? You cut out.
My bad.
It's a country.
Yeah, no, we're definitely a country, but each state is really supposed to be,
governing its people.
They're supposed to govern their own people, and it's really for the federal government to kind of look and see what works in one place, because everybody's going to kind of do their own thing. They're really like little labs. Mm-hmm. We got 50 labs, and they just run it like that, and they see what works, and then if it don't work, then fine, they kind of make adjustments as is. Mm-hmm. I personally don't have a problem with it.
I get what you're saying, but you're a part of the problem, because it's like, fuck. Hey, city boys, y'all may think y'all up, but y'all not no more. Y'all better get. Hey, it's vasectomy season out here. Hey, it's the wild west, the dirty south, the grimy north, whatever that shit is. It's crazy out here. The fact that women don't have control over what they say, if they want to keep a kid or not. The men didn't already have a say. It is what it is. Child support or whatever.
To the club now.
But now it's like, even if the woman wanted to be on even if the woman wanted to have an abortion, she can't. And the nigga gonna already be on child support. So it's like, damn.
So, I want to.
But I'm just like, why does it make sense that older white men and one old ass nigga, because he was a part of the Supreme Court as well.
And a white woman, and an old white woman.
And an old ass fucking white woman can dictate what happens with the majority of the women across the country.
Well, now hold on, Free. You're speaking of Clarence Thomas when that's the old man you was talking about, right?
The brother.
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence.
Good old Clarence.
I got something that I want to say.
Hold on, John. Let me just address what Free said, right? Clarence Thomas he did not say that all abortions are illegal, right? He just took it out the federal government's hands. States, y'all can do whatever the fuck y'all want, right? And now if you look at who Clarence Thomas is and the history of him, and I know John want to get into some allegations that was made about him back in the day, like I want to say like the early 90s when he took over.
Right when he got in.
I mean, it's up to the states. It's a lot of shit that the U.S. government, the U.S. Supreme Court is left in the hands of the states. He's basically saying the federal government, look, we out of it. Y'all can do whatever the fuck y'all want in y'all states. Federal government, we don't got no time. We don't got time for that shit. Y'all do what the fuck y'all need to do.
It's not in
and if you think about it though, your vote will probably go a little bit further
in the state,
because it's actually going to be more indicative of what the people in that region feel like. Yeah. But I'm going to be honest. So Pop brought up a point about that this was just a political stunt, and I believe that it's a lot deeper than this, honestly. So one thing I can say is, the Republican Party, they have their agendas and things of that nature, and they do a good job of rallying behind that. But I think it's a lot deeper than that, and this is what I have long thought that this whole abortion situation. So we had that one lady who kind of came out on record. It was a congresswoman, and she basically was praising Trump about how they were saving white lives. So it's really like a couple of theories that this whole thing really kind of ties into. So one, we've been dealing with this dwindling population of, just white people in general, but really just as a country as a whole. She really didn't have to just put it on white lives, even though, that's what's important to her, fine, whatever. But I think the biggest thing is I believe that people in our day and age just aren't having as many kids, right? And the way that our government is set up, you got Social Security and all these other things, without as many people joining the workforce and them able to pull this whole Ponzi scheme along, you're going to be in a situation where it's going to get top heavy. So you got more boomers and people retiring and not enough people paying into the system. And I think that they're trying to do a correction of that.
So create a larger working class.
Right. Well, then there's a second element to this too, though, that I feel like probably isn't talked about as much either. And like I said, this is this has really been spearheaded by the Republicans, and we have a lot of corporations in America that back that particular political party, and they also have a lot of sway into what goes into that. And I'm thinking, if they are able to pull this off, you're going to have a lot more people running around here in lower socioeconomical, tax brackets and things of that nature. They're going to be poor. They'll be uneducated. They're a lot easier to not only govern, but employ. They really want a lot of people. I mean, they just want masses. The dumber your masses are, the easier they are to govern. Say that again.
I say you have to, we're going to end up paying for that, though.
Yeah.
These is going to be more government assistance. You're saying that you're just going to have this working class.
But this is what I'm saying though. They need
that, dog.
But for every person that you have, there's always going to be a middle class here, and that's what this country is ran off of. And that gap between the two, it is getting further and further. But that's who's really carrying the country right now. Yeah. And so the more people that's out here in that workforce, the more easier folks are to govern and dictate. I think that this is really where all of this is genuinely stems from. And so, then
hold on.
Go ahead.
You agree with the decision that was made?
I agree with the decision that the states can make those decisions. Yes.
I don't think he agreed that women can't. That. Women should be able to choose do what they want.
I'm thinking about the overarching principle here.
I see what you're saying.
This could mean for other laws, that are dictated. I know my state is pretty wild, so it's probably going to be some nut shit going on here.
It's good to leave it up to the states and shit, but that's why we have federal laws, though. Everything something like this should not be left up to the states.
Why?
Well, it's not. They don't have. There's nothing in the Constitution that's directly protects abortion. So the federal government's like, there's nothing there. They protect the Constitution.
There's nothing in the Constitution that protects black people either.
So the amendments.
Are y'all okay with laws that would start?
But we're talking. But it's an amendment.
That's a race. That's race. This sexuality. This is like
case law.
Yeah, this is different.
Ruling. They're reversing a ruling. They're not reversing the Constitution.
Okay,
those amendments are part of the Constitution
to reverse it, my guy. Did they not use the Constitution?
No, what they're saying, they used to say that they didn't have enough standing to begin with to make the ruling. That's what they're saying.
That's their argument. That's their argument.
Reversing.
Yeah.
But they did, though. That's why they were the Supreme Court, and they made
because they're saying it was an
thing that they don't
overreach
agree
back
with.
then.
Yeah, it was an overreach.
Overreach of their.
No.
That was language put into their letter.
Yeah, that's all that.
No,
bro. That's no.
It was an overreach.
They have to say things like that to overturn something like that, dog.
No,
Well,
but that's there.
So time out real quick. So with case law be getting changed all the time. That's just like generational shit. You know what I'm saying? Case law goes with generation. Just because it's case law don't mean it's set in stone as such things like the Constitution and the amendments within the Constitution. Now, to be on Pop's side, maybe we should look at amending the Constitution to protect things of that nature. But being that there's nothing in there at this time, all they did was got rid of the case law, and that happens to a bunch of shit.
But here's the thing too, though. Okay. If they want to make it a law, then guess what? Congress can still do that.
They can, yeah.
Congress can get together and decide that they want that to be a law, and that will reverse what the Constitution said. And
so what is hey John, what does codify mean? When they say codify, codify. What is
basically? It just means that it needs to be written out by the legislature or by Congress. It needs to be a law passed, and usually those people that write laws are the ones who are elected.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what they're talking about.
Why fuck with it though? Why fuck with it? Like when you say put it in the states, you say put it in the state's hands, right? And you say your state is wilding. So why put it in the state's hands when it was no problem? Like it's up to the woman's decision.
But that's the thing. It was no problem for a certain group of people. But that's why I said it's going to break down to the geographics. People feel wildly different about it.
So now, look, if it's states people, that means people really have to get out and vote for their governors, their legislators. They have to get out. Yeah, they have to get out.
Will definitely. But see, there is a very. Go ahead.
Nothing's changed, bro. Y'all keep saying we need to go out and vote. We need to do this. We need to do that.
No. It has. The stakes have been raised.
Here's the thing, Simeon. Here's the thing, Sam. Like, yeah, we go vote, but what'd you say? You keep cutting out.
You keep cutting out.
Well, you saying my full government, nigga? That's why.
Well, you can edit that shit. That's what the fuck you do, man. Do something. I mean, I got to give you some work. You divvying out everything. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
you fucking right, nigga. I saw
so
you.
Look, here's the thing. I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
Yeah, I had a point that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah, fuck it. I forgot.
No.
Yeah, like you like this really makes
trying to put in laws and stuff to try to prosecute the people who leave the states to go get abortion.
Well, they can't do that. It's interstate. They can't do that. It's interstate. Illegal. Yeah, that's federal. That's illegal.
So here's another thing.
See, that's what y'all not. That they're trying to.
That's
bro, they can't. It's constitute. They can't do that though. They can't.
You cannot restrict a person from leaving the state unless it's a crime committed or some shit. That's the only time you can restrict. Like crime has already happened.
When we go to states that allow marijuana smoking and stuff like that,
it's the
and
same.
People indulge and then they come
and
back.
That would be my point. So why? But I'm telling you,
but you're not coming back with the drugs, are you?
I'm telling you.
Y'all don't see trend though.
You said what?
Y'all don't see these things type of happen until they fucking happen.
Exactly.
Listen, but what I'm saying is
bro, they not gonna. They would have to. That means you can't leave your state for nothing, bro. They would have to change everything. They would have to.
I'm just saying what they're trying to do.
Right.
But you're saying that, but you're not being genuine about what they're trying to do.
How
what they're trying to do is they turned the rights back to the states and to Congress. Congress can still
and they
make
also
that happen.
Be in a position, they're asking one state to be able to sue another state. I'm just telling you.
That's not going to happen. It's not possible.
So here's the thing, John and Bob. Here's the thing, real quick, right? Some crazy fuck laws don't get passed, right? If you look at all the laws that your fucking senators and representatives try to push through, if you just it's a list of shit. If you look at the shit that don't make it, you be like, what the fuck? I cannot believe this Roe versus Wade shit, this abortion shit, it's a lot, right? It's like, oh yeah, they're trying to, like what Pop said, they're trying to pass all these crazy laws, right? But dog, they be trying to pass some crazy fucking laws, and they've been doing it for years. The shit never makes it. It never makes it to the floor. But yo, pay attention. Like it's usually on your state's website, the shit that they present, and you read through some of that shit, you be like, why the fuck?
I think I've done that one time. Yeah, I think I've done that one time.
And who the fuck is this person that's trying to pass it? And let's make sure that this motherfucker
never gets it. Yeah.
Because here's the thing: the people who do that shit, nobody votes, so they automatically get the spot. And that's when we need to pay attention. Right. And I've said this before: white people know when to vote. Black people vote when it's popular, but white people vote when it's not popular. You get what I'm saying? You'll see millions of black folks out there voting for a fucking president, but their state is already fucked up. Their city is already fucked up because they didn't vote during the right times.
I got a question
and
for
that's the big thing about voting.
Pose this.
You
know,
the
question really is more so on the whole abortion and how all these states feel about it and things of that nature. And my
not that many states.
Well,
isn't even banning abortion right now.
Hold on, listen. We don't know where it's gonna go because really it is kind of up in the air until election season kind of hits, right? But I do want to know this. Like my question to the group is, how do y'all feel about abortion? Do y'all consider at what point do you consider a fetus life or viable? Like, how do y'all feel about it? Like, what's your standpoint there?
I have no right to dictate what a woman want to do with what's inside her body. So if she wants to take a plan B, get an abortion, hey, it's what
I feel the same way. Up to a certain time, up to a certain amount of time. You wait till 4 or 5 months try to get an abortion. That's the issue for me. Unless it's gonna harm you. You're gonna die or something like that. That's a different story. But if you out here, just fucking and then you got 4 or 5 abortions, you doing it for birth control. That ain't nah.
Well, and that's the thing too, though. I think that this rule will maybe have people be a little bit more responsible,
maybe,
or take preventative measures. Now, what we're really looking at is if they're thinking about trying to outlaw birth control and stuff like that. That's probably gonna get really
ugly.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that'll get crazy. And I don't think that'll happen. You got to think about it.
And
hold on.
Go ahead, Pop.
There's nothing set enough stone to limit the states, basically what they can do with it right now.
Right. Okay.
They're shooting a plan for this before it was put into place.
So then when that happens, somebody else is going to have to appeal to the federal courts, and something like that is going to have to go back up. And that's how it's gonna either get reversed or otherwise. I mean, that's just the way the system.
So many reasons why. I mean,
my whole issue with this whole argument is, like how Vic said that he has a problem with somebody's getting abortion like 4 or 5 times or whatever. I mean, yeah, that is a problem, but at the same time, like, you can't just ignore the fact that there's other people that are on government assistance. They've been on government assistance their whole adult life, and you don't have they just lazy fucks and. That's just what they do, and then on top of that, that just abortion is what it is. Like, that's a service that's acquired, that's provided, through the medical insurance or through the medical practice of Planned Parenthood. So it is what it is. So you can't.
It is. It's their decision. But
go ahead.
I mean, it's their decision. But he asked me how I felt about it. I don't mind. You can do what you want to do. But I'm just saying, he asked how I feel about it. Do what you want to do. But if you gotten 4 or 5 abortions, then
let me ask you this.
It might be something.
What's so different about 4 months and
every day, though?
Time out, John. Hold on, John. Hey, Sim, I'm glad you brought up Planned Parenthood, right? Because Planned Parenthood is probably like the biggest one, right? Where young ladies or women go to get abortions. They go there to get contraceptives. They go there to get the shit that they need to make sure, children aren't created, right? Now, do we know the history of Planned Parenthood?
Of course we do.
That's not what they're made for.
Tell us about Margaret Sanger.
What are they made for? Okay, let's Sim. What are they made for?
No. It's called Planned Parenthood. They're not made to stop kids being born.
What are they made for then?
What do you mean?
It ain't a fertility clinic. It ain't a fertility clinic.
What will we make? What was the country built off of?
What did you say, Pop?
I said, what was this country built off of? It don't fucking
No.
matter.
I understand.
Planned
that.
Parenthood was a eugenics genocide program started
Yes.
by Margaret Sanger, who
Yes,
was
there
a
you go.
diabolical white supremacist.
Horrible
she
bitch.
What is it now?
It was a horrible
Huh?
bitch.
What is it now,
It's the
though?
same
I mean,
thing.
it was called the
It's
Negro
the same
Project, bro.
thing.
It was called the Negro
and
Project.
on top of
Horrible
that,
bitch.
I believe that Planned Parenthood,
Still
the
back
whole
then?
thing is really just used to farm stem cells to give to these rich people so that they can cure some of their ailments. That's what I believe.
You think the rich people are gonna let that stop if they really needed it? Then
They're gonna get it either way. That's the thing that people don't understand about this country is this only affects poor people and people who follow the rules.
Right.
People of means are above the law. And they've shown us that every time in this country. So this is not going to affect them. I guarantee you right now. If Clarence Thomas were to have a granddaughter and she was pregnant right now and they didn't want that baby to go through, they would find a way to end that. They cheat that critter out of life, right out of her womb.
What you saying, Pop? Just a minute. Second ago? I thought he was saying something. My bad.
He doesn't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, Planned Parenthood is a no-go.
Yeah, Planned Parenthood ain't the way. But how do y'all feel about this stat, real quick, right? There are more black babies in New York City who are aborted than ones that are born.
There are more that are what?
There are more black
than
babies
Aborted. Oh, okay.
aborted than they are born in New York City. How y'all feel about that?
I don't feel any kind of way, nigga. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, what the white rate is too.
The right way is very low.
No, I need a number.
I just don't understand, like,
Okay,
what, like,
hold on. My bad, Sam. Hey, we will post that in the IG, but that rate is very low. But
I
go
just want
ahead.
to know why we making it a black versus white thing.
Yeah.
Well,
America.
are we
It's
talking
America.
about black
What
issues
the
or
fuck?
white
You
issues?
said
or
black.
all?
Who's the most affected from this?
You
Well,
said
he's appealing to your emotions because you do identify with the culture, correct? And to push us forward, we need more soldiers on the front line, right?
And y'all say is
I think that's what he's saying. I'm
What you
not.
say, Pop?
You say?
in 5 years that these women got too many babies. That's what y'all gonna be saying.
I mean, I think some of them already do, but I mean, hell, what are we gonna do?
black. This is American issue.
You said it's not. It
There
is.
was
It
nothing
is.
wrong. Y'all wasn't giving a fuck. Y'all didn't give a fuck about this shit. Y'all didn't care. Now all of a sudden it's about fucking black babies and this shit. Like, get out of here. Y'all didn't give a
No,
fuck.
so you want to? I've always had my own stance on abortion. I understand the utility of it, but it's not something that I wouldn't want to have to go that route. Now, would I?
You did.
Yeah, I would. I would. I'm
What
not even gonna lie.
option?
It's not that I didn't care. It's just
Last
wasn't
resort.
like a big
How many
problem.
goddamn if men could have babies, how fucking bad would we be looking at this motherfucker?
Boy.
I mean, you know what?
If
If men was going as hard, if men was going as hard on this Roe versus Wade, on child support, hey, some shit might get fucking changed, man. You never know. Right? Cause that's just crazy. But that's another thing. We've talked about this before.
You
About
support
child
other
support.
people's issues and shit.
That's just wild. And child support
They
affects
gonna
everybody.
married, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I don't care if they ain't get married. Then they gonna keep it's gonna be bit.
Well, now, and you're right
you're
about
not
that.
gonna have them fighting for your shit.
You're right about
You're
that.
gonna be like, oh,
but
fuck
here's the
it, they
thing,
don't
though.
care about what we have. Gay people gonna be like, oh, they said they didn't care.
Well,
So you need
well,
And that is how the government does
You
that.
can support other fucking minorities.
black women.
You're a fucking fool.
Well, time out though. If you don't think that our community isn't out here supporting other minorities, you're crazy. Because that's the one thing that we do right.
Why you just say that out of like I didn't say.
Well, because you were talking about how if you're not going to support
I'm
other
saying for the people who
minorities,
said that they didn't care about that in here.
about
what?
what?
I didn't cast anything on the whole race. So what do you?
Oh,
talking
okay, all right. I stand corrected.
Didn't come close to that.
I just threw out a stat. That's the only reason why I jumped on the race thing. I threw out a stat about New York City and about how the babies were being more black babies were being aborted than born. Yeah, I mean the race thing will always be a race thing. It's fucking America. is always about race here for some reason. Maybe we could get past it in 100 years or so. But let's talk about the limit purchases of Plan B pills because
rack them up, baby.
What you mean limit? They limited how many you can buy at a time?
Yes, everybody.
I mean, how many people? I think I've only bought. You can
goddamn. You can buy 3 pills. One customer can buy 3 pills. CVS right now are the only ones who said buy as many as you want. They at first they was with everybody else, such as Amazon and other places. But CVS recently today actually said, "Hey, you guys can buy as many as you want." Now I had an idea, right? Because I'm in a blue state. You can do the wildest shit in blue states, right? In the blue state, I was like, well, shit, I'm going to buy up all this shit and sell that shit.
There are laws about price gouging. While we're on this topic, I just want to give a public service announcement, you guys. With the influx of, Plan B purchases, I want y'all to make sure that y'all do not buy any of the knockoff off-brands. I have been online just kind of looking at the reviews for the knockoffs of Plan B, and the reviews have been terrible. Like, absolutely abysmal. Do not, I repeat, do not.
Man, just strap up.
You can just
strap up to that.
Strap the fuck up. But, hey, talking about strapping up, let's talk about New York. And some of the U.S. Supreme Court, I guess, they did their thing. But they overturned the handgun law in New York, man. Who got that info?
Good for them.
Send that shit.
I think kick that to Pop.
Pop, what you got, brother?
I had Roe vs. Wade. Kick it to you.
This was your baby.
Hey, hold on.
The host supposed to know
the topic, like, right? I didn't know this was even gonna
that nigga said.
I'll take a stab at it then. Okay. So basically, a ruling came in, and it was found that New York's current gun licensing rulings was unconstitutional. It was damn near impossible for anybody in the state of New York, especially within the city limits, to be able to get a firearm. And I personally have to stand up, and I applaud the Supreme Court for stepping in and fixing that, because I don't like the idea of a bunch of degenerates, running around the city with weapons, and the people that want to follow the rules have to break the laws to be safe in their own communities. I think that's bogus. I think the only thing that we need to do, or what we need to see from the state of New York, is that they do come up with a more reasonable licensing, statute, to where you don't have just any and everybody running around with weapons, because I don't believe that the Wild West is the answer, which is what we've done here in Texas. Texas, you can pretty much, not only can you carry a gun on you, but you can conceal carry. You can't go in all the places that you would be able to with your license, but you can conceal carry. And I mean,
Georgia's worse.
it's opening the door for a lot of trouble. And with New York being as highly populated and so many people on top of each other, I could see how that could get out of hand. But again, good for them for striking that law down, and hopefully they come up with a reasonable, path forward. Over and out.
I like it too. I agree with it. I'm not in New York, but if you're a law-abiding citizen, they should be able to. Shouldn't be as hard to get a gun.
And this is the same thing in DC. I remember I was telling this story.
It's not about getting a gun, it's about carrying it.
So I was in DC one time, and we were all hanging out at these condos downtown, and we were like right on the edge of, a very affluent neighborhood. And then once you crossed over the bridge, it was the hood or whatever. And for whatever reason, the guy who we were hanging out with, his girlfriend had went down the street because she wanted some boiled peanuts. And while she was, down there trying to grab some, to get these peanuts or whatever, some deranged man had like grabbed her and was basically like trying to run off on her ass. And I remember one of the people that was with her called, her boyfriend, and we were all just sitting in the house drinking or whatever, and it's like, somebody's trying to take Brenda. We gotta go. And then they went to the closet and got bats and broomsticks and shit. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm not going out here with no goddamn stick. You got me fucked up. So, I went outside and kind of lightly jogged behind them, but, I wasn't getting in that shit. I don't know what these motherfuckers got. They ain't no coward, nigga. The fuck?
Hey,
Would you have a gun with them if they had guns? What do you mean?
The coward.
Yeah. I'd rather have a gun.
You wouldn't. You
You would do something worse. You would
No.
No.
It was for defense mechanism. I wasn't going there to. It was for protection of self and others. Okay. If they don't have a gun, the gun don't come out.
Oh,
Hey,
y'all
then-
guns
Oh, y'all gonna be shooting?
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
Yo,
But listen, I didn't want to be the guy. I didn't want to be the guy bringing a bat to a gunfight. That's not, what I'm saying. At least be
Just stayed
equipped
in
for
the
the
house. I
situation.
just stayed in the house.
Hey,
It wasn't my house to stay in. So, like I said,
So you
I
will
jogged lightly
jog behind without a bat or a gun.
You just nothing.
No. See, they was clearly across the bridge. I'm like,
So you weren't lightly behind, then you was
like I said,
you was way behind. You weren't even
I
in
wasn't getting in that, man.
Hey,
Hey, man.
hold on.
But yeah, how do you feel about that situation? I mean, Sim, like, what's your take on them opening up the gun laws? Have you had your feel on the Supreme Court? Are they doing too much too soon?
You know what? What I feel like is that I feel like history is kind of in a way trying to repeat itself, because the whole thing with the Roe v. Wade thing, and then we had the congressman saying that thank you Trump for white life, and we got a senator saying that now let's get rid of, or let's go after Brown versus education. I'm not too keen on the Supreme Court, because for some reason they got a lot of fucking power.
They do have a lot of power.
They're
Their power,
and it's
you gotta
not.
remember. This is a system of checks and balances. You gotta remember that for every power that they reverse can be codified into law. So the Congress people can fix this. They can fix it if they choose to.
Yeah, but we just had a congresswoman saying thank you for white life.
That's one lady.
Yeah.
Okay, you think that one lady is by her?
Okay, but here's the thing. Let me ask you this, and I'm gonna be upfront here, because if she said thank you for saving white life, who gives a fuck?
Bruh,
Who cares? Who cares? You know what? When I'm thinking about, there are times where I'm selfish and I'm thinking about the survival of black people. I care about other people's plight, but not enough to get involved with other people. And that's, I think it's okay to have those viewpoints.
To say that
Maybe
because
I'm wrong.
I think what John's saying, he's saying how they look after their people so much that, you should care about your people. You should care about, if you white, you probably should care about your white life. If you black, we should care about black life.
But she's a congresswoman. You can't.
But okay, If the Marcel dude got up there and said, we need to thank you for the Supreme Court, because he says this. Thank you. He's agreed with this. The Marcel dude we talked about last week. He said this is gonna save black babies. Thank you. This saves black life. So is that an issue?
That's the only the issue is because it's different between the white people and the black people, because the white people run the fucking world and they make all the rules.
Again, but you're mad at white people for advancing
their people
agendas.
Their agenda's been advanced throughout history. What do you mean?
Again, you're mad at white people for looking out for themselves. And I'm mad at black people for not being as selfish as white people have been.
Can we be selfish in what way?
Well, as I said earlier, our community is the first one to run out and support any old movement. That's just how we do. We are a very loving group of people. I'll say that much. Like, we really do.
We are. Yeah, we are.
Out for other people.
Answer to your question.
Don't get that type. It's not reciprocal.
though. You don't get that. That's the answer to your question.
What's
Why
the
do
answer?
we come to everybody's aid? Because we're loving people. Because we try to see everybody equal.
We're like dogs.
We
Like,
try to
dogs
know.
I ain't gonna bro. Hell no.
I mean, personality wise, we will really help anybody.
Nah, bro. We just bro.
We'll turn the cheek.
That's not being a
and
dog,
only
bro.
get buck on anybody but ourselves. That's the part that I'm talking about. Like, that's what I don't like.
We're not greedy people at heart. Like, we don't care for our bullshit.
Okay,
like,
but it's not getting us anywhere.
Be left alone. We just want to chill, be left alone. We want to live our life.
It's not getting us anywhere.
But you can't be like white. You can't be like white people, bro.
When you're in a system, you need to operate like the system. You're not gonna beat the system by doing this whole friendly gig. You know what the rules are. You know how they're playing. You learn the game and play it.
Okay, but the thing is, you can learn the game and play, but you don't
play the game though. I mean, when you don't have power, how do we play the game? Just us.
Just us.
Only thing it sounds like we have to. Like, what can we do?
Okay, so another way that we can compete is to be collective in our vote and being collective in our finances.
Communities.
We have to be more community bound, and we need we have to support each other. Like that's really the only way we're gonna overcome.
But you don't understand.
Think about it like this.
The numbers. I feel that. But it's still the numbers, my guy.
But no, see, and that's where you're wrong. I want to refute that right now.
I'm not saying we can't improve ourselves. I'm talking about massive fucking change.
Listen, can I say something? So the Asian community, the Chinese community, let's put it like that, in America is so much more smaller than that of the black community. But you know what? They have their own everything.
They have more wealth, don't they? Collectively, do they?
They do. They value different things.
I understand.
They do value. They do.
So what I'm saying is
the numbers that black people are spread out all over this country, and then you have most Asians that's sitting on the West Coast.
They're concentrated in areas. I agree, but what I'm saying is it don't matter. You have
matter.
No, what matters is we have to get
on code.
We have to get on code.
They are allowed to do these things too. They are more likely.
Nobody's stopping us from getting on code right now.
They are more likely to be left alone to do it quietly.
So pop. So wait. So pop. Do you think? I got a question though.
So are we just going to use that as an excuse? So
yeah. So what?
So ensure that it doesn't happen.
Okay, so we
gotta fight more. Like they just.
I agree. I don't dismiss that.
So, Pop, what is your solution then? What would be your solution?
Are we gonna lay down and die, or we gonna get with the shit?
Huh?
What's your solution then? No, John, you said your solution. Pop, what's your solution then?
I'm saying I think the only solution that we have is to improve our group. I'm saying like if we're thinking about mainly in the country, I don't know what in the country that we like. What are we going to be able to change? We can change our community, but we're not on a national level. Like how are we going to improve? Are we going to get like more senators or some shit like that? Like we still
that's a start. That's a start.
We still have so then we have to get those white folks to vote for us and shit. Then so
what you have to do is, and it don't even have to be a black senator, but what we need is senators in our pocket.
That's what I'm saying.
How do you get a senator in your pocket?
Yeah,
money, your capital.
Okay, but how are we going to get to where we have more money than the white person?
No, we don't. But
we spend the most, bro. We spend the most money, dog. We do.
On code and be strategic with it.
Spend the most as a as far as our group of people. We spend
bro. We spend more than anybody.
Spend more money than they don't. Well,
bro, yes, we do, dog.
We spend more money.
Well, let's run that.
They have bigger houses.
Run the number, bro. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers.
We think more money. We move the culture. It's not that we spend more money. We move the culture. And the fact that y'all are sitting here trying to act like compare us to the Asian community, that's wild.
Why? Well, why?
Because the government has never tried to. The government has never tried to.
Bro, they were in internment camps. They were in internment camps.
That was a war thing.
I'm just saying though.
Bro, look.
They were banished to the railroad.
You want to hear numbers? You want to hear numbers? Black people, look, bro.
Black men were vilified.
Look, bro, look. Look. I'm
not terrified. a white person is not terrified of an Asian man.
I'm
a
aware
white
of that.
2021, July 29th. Black people spend more than $1 trillion a year on goods and services, more than anybody else, and we lack the least amount of wealth.
That's things, man. What about other things?
Where do those stats come from?
Fam,
they're probably saying
goods and services.
Hold on,
but what
CNBC.
We're putting out a lot of the money that we're making.
Again, but here's the thing. Get on code and
values. What are your values?
What are your
what are we spending money on?
Values?
What are your values? Yeah.
Okay, exactly. And it's not the same thing as them, bro.
I know, and that's what we're saying. We have to change that.
A
lot of the stuff that we glorify that's a part of the issue.
It really is, bro.
It really
the culture,
is. I hate to say it. I mean, I love the rap. It's fun, but it is detrimental to the minds. It is, bro.
And the thing is, when people say that, black people think you like, oh, you ain't black, bro. Just stop and look at it.
Designer clothes and jewelry and cars is not keeping regular people from that.
Okay, but here's the thing. Let me ask you this: if they diverted
living in those small ass house and then they decide to buy a $50,000 chain and then that's like
we're talking about the culture, the way we spend, the way that it's
that's
all
why
money
that's
in,
it's
all money out.
About.
I got you. I understand that.
More money than we are spending, more than we are keeping,
and yes, that's a part of it. But what I got you. I'm there with you. But what I'm saying is whether it's that or not, if you divert those funds to specific people, specific senators, or even divert some of your, whatever you spend at, Ross or whatever, or Gucci or whomever, and it's going to a black business that's on code, that's going to then funnel those dollars to a representative.
A campaign,
it doesn't have to be a black one, but somebody who is going to come on record and say, yes, this is what's important to me. These people because at the end of the day, that's all these politicians they want. They're looking for their next dollar to get in office. And as long as you got them in your pocket, then they're going to bend. But that's the thing. As blacks, we give those votes away for nothing. We spend our money on everything, and then we give our last bit of say so away for boogeyman reasons.
We've been voting for the people that said they're going to do everything for us.
Tell me, okay, let me ask you a question. The last couple of times you voted, what was on the table, tangibly speaking, for black people? What did they go on record and say that they were going to give to us for our
they
vote?
talked about debt, student debt.
That's everybody issue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm talking about who. But
I'm asking.
He's specific.
But I'm saying, but you don't. It's not just going to be. It's going to be something that helps, like legalizing marijuana.
It is.
I get it, but see, that's the thing. But see, that's the thing, though. That is for what. That's what I'm talking about.
So what can it be, John? So
that's what I'm talking about.
So what type of plan would it be for black people that you would hear that you would support?
Reparations? That's what he's talking about.
Well, like I said, I would support a reparations movement, something to that effect. Or I would. No. Why ain't I? We've given out reparations to many people. We've given out many reparations in this country. We're still paying reparations to some Japanese families, and then
it's not getting close. That's what I'm saying. See now you when I was talking about fucking states trying to go at other states. And you saying no, but now with this, it's more possible.
I'm talking about going with Congress, though. This is what my whole thing is. That what we were talking about earlier was being shot down at the federal court level, right?
What?
Just like we have right now, California is working on a reparations plan. It's from what I've been told, it's kind of boof, but it's something.
Do what you wanted to do.
It's not going to happen. So you think we got a better chance at reparations than fucking states trying to go after people for fucking abortion?
People for what? For abortions?
For abortion.
Well, again, this is what I'm saying though. I think I think when you have when you have enough pull in Congress, yeah, I think anything's possible.
But bro, there were never.
That would take a lot of pull, though.
It would take a lot of pull, but what I'm saying is until we get on code and but see, and this is the thing too, though, and this is where I
use the tie motherfuckers up, doing like work on something else.
So well, no, but this is the thing too, though. So like, this is why I was so upset about the last campaign, right? Like, I felt like with the Democrats' agenda to they're very inclusive of everyone, which is good. You know what I mean? But I feel like we really missed the opportunity to seize the moment. So we don't really have the finances at the moment, or we haven't been putting our finances towards, getting senators and politicians to really play with us, right? So at that point, the only thing we can leverage is a vote. And the fact that we will cast the vote to a group that we know is thirsty for power will give it away to them, so that they, they're getting something for nothing. And so since they get that, what's the first thing that Joe did? Well, one of the first things is he opened the borders up even more. So now that black vote is even more smaller. It's diminished. So what little bit of power you do have, we just cast it away. And that's why I was like, if we don't fuck with them,
immigrant vote is going to the whites instead of
it's gonna go. This is where the immigrant. Let me tell you something. So when the Democratic Party, gave us our liberties, we've been loyal to them ever since, and I believe that people will follow suit. Right? This is the group of people who made me an American citizen. This is who I'm gonna rock with, and that's the rationale that I'm running with. In fact, the president at the time said, if we do this, blacks will be voting for the Democratic Party for 100 years. And we still been voting for them off the strength of what they did in the past. They haven't done nothing as of late. But for whatever reason, we still come to them hat in hand, knowing damn well there's nothing on the table for us. And I feel like we have to stop giving it away and making them earn it. If they desire to be in power that bad, then you make them give you something, or you let them sit on the sidelines with the rest of us. We'll all be miserable. We'll all be miserable.
You're all trying to have your own party and trying to have your own candidate, bro. We're too small of a population to be thinking that we can just have a whole.
I mean, that's the thing, though. We say that, but then we see other groups. Hell, we saw the Asian in during COVID. We saw that the Asians got a whole hate bill passed through, and they got money to help fortify their economy that took such a beating because everybody was being xenophobic and stuff.
So Pop, your solution would be each community, like these black communities, like these, they need to kind of build themselves up. Each black community, they not should be focused on the government and stuff. We should need to really focus on the inside, like us, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's factual.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Because
that's
I see.
I
hear what he's saying. I hear what he's saying. He's saying like.
I mean, we had this take fucking 20, 40, 50 years, though.
You said what?
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna take. It's gonna take generations, bro. We gotta start somewhere. Yeah.
And affect our community and our family and branch out. That's really the only way. It's not gonna get done in our generation. We need to stop even thinking that's where it's gonna be.
We were here before. Y'all don't understand. I love
right, but we got sidetracked.
Sidetracked. But I'm telling you, don't think that they will just allow you to just.
I got you. Okay, but it don't matter. We can't lay down. We're gonna have to press forward.
I understand that.
I get it.
What you say, Free? Hold on. What Free say?
I'm saying we're a threat. We will always be a threat to them. We cannot have the same rights as an Asian person. That you said.
Okay, so Free, what's your solution then?
I truly don't know, because every time we
rules and adapt, we just have to keep adapting.
Every time we have a solution. Like when we tried to have Black Wall Street, they blow that bitch up.
Right.
But we don't know what's the solution, because everything is going against us.
They are going to.
So you gotta learn. So wait. So Black Wall Street now you gotta learn. So let's say right now we learn from Black Wall Street. Let's say somebody try to build a Black Wall Street. We got enough black militias out here. Okay, this is our Black Wall Street. If you come in here trying to bomb it, you just got to fight on your hands.
And then we got the
straight up.
internet. We have
look
online
at-
commerce. It's a
no,
lot of stuff. We can't. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
Dog, you have to do something like John saying. You can't.
Understand, but that ain't gonna get it.
Listen,
Bro, we just
key-
gotta agree that there's not a real answer. Like,
So you just do nothing? We just do nothing?
We don't know the answer.
we should build up the community. You just said that's how I
You
I
build
know,
it up.
but
You build it up.
we build it up, but then what if somebody come in? What if they come in and try? Okay, but what if they come in and do something? Then how do we protect ourselves?
then you gotta. I'm just saying, like that's
You
why
go out like
Vic,
Rosewood.
As
don't
soon
get
as,
bombed and then you're gonna have to build.
Vic.
That's what I'm just saying. Like, there's not going to be some overall good. We're gonna end the last days. We're still gonna be a fucking minority getting shitted on. Just
Yep.
Well,
understand
maybe
point.
now that Roe
Vic.
v. Wade has been, overturned,
No,
maybe
no,
we'll
no,
have
no,
more
no.
soldiers on the line.
Vic, every time we try to protect ourselves, the Black Panthers, what happened? They infiltrate.
I agree, but
every
what I'm
time,
it
bro.
don't matter.
Bro, you gotta
We
keep
still gotta
trying.
do
You gotta
it.
try. Yes, do
I'm
it.
not, I'm not saying we don't
Saying
try.
not to. I'm saying
Saying
not
that.
to,
But
right?
this sounds like excuses,
can
man.
never-
Like, okay, so what?
No.
We know.
I'm
Listen, let me tell you something. As black men in America, we know that our road to success is going to be 10 times harder than the average motherfucker. But every day you get
We
your
do
black
it.
ass up and
Exactly,
you
and we
try,
work our
and
ass
that's
off. We
it.
try.
I don't even give a damn what they got to say about the shit. I'm coming out and I'm going for the motherfucking top. I'm gonna get as far as I can, and then when I have some kids, I'm gonna pass it off to them.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying when you try to compare us to the Asians, how the Asians got stuff taken care of, you
Listen.
can't use that against us
What
because
I'm saying,
whites
I'm
don't
showing
treat us
a
like they treat us.
demonstration. I know because they are assimilated though as well. But what I'm saying is I'm giving a demonstration of how small numbers, when on code. Hello.
You think black people
When
haven't been?
on code? No, hell no.
They not,
no,
bro. We
we're
not,
not
dog.
on code.
We not, bro.
No, we're not.
We
No,
not,
we
fam.
are the most disorganized, one of the most disorganized groups. And
Okay,
it's
you gotta
okay.
stop.
It's,
You gotta
no,
stop.
no.
We
No,
we
I'm
not on
telling
code.
you,
We on, you
are.
think we on code,
It
bro?
is one of the
You really
most
think so?
disorganized groups.
Bro,
But the
who do you
reason
think-
is, the reason is because
any
it
other
was
activists
bred
other
that
than
way.
black folks. What are you talking about? You only see our activists. What are you talking about?
You know why? Because all our stuff is grassroots and all their stuff is behind the scenes actually
They don't
getting
give a
stuff
fuck.
done.
Also because it's hard as fuck. And we
It
have
is
to
hard,
fucking
but that's why I
proud
said
about
we
it.
have to
That's
get on
why.
code. We
You
have
don't
to
think
be
black folks, you don't think
organized.
there's enough fucking intelligent black folks to know that you have to fucking do it on
Well,
their
this is
Think
I'm
they
gonna
got
tell
it
you
wrong.
what plagues our community, and y'all
Our
can stone
skin.
me if
That's it.
no, what plagues the community is we get wrapped up in the I gotta get mine, and then I'll help out where I can.
They ain't the only people that do that. White people
Listen,
do it.
I'm gonna tell you
You
what.
can't worry
I'm gonna
about
tell you
everybody else,
what.
though, man.
I'm gonna tell you what. When
Do it.
let me give you another
Don't.
example. Let me give you
Don't
another
make that-
example of a persecuted people.
But don't
Whenever
make
they
that-
donate their money, it goes directly to their community. The Jews have this thing down
They're
pat.
white too, bro.
They are white. They are white, but they're still Jewish people too. There's a distinguishing factor. But what I'm trying to say is this: is when there's a code, when there's a principle that's going to unite people, and we're all going to get on one accord. That's really, we got too many leaders. We got too many leaders.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I just don't agree. I mean, when you got a whole government,
And we don't need a leader. We just need a code. You can't kill a code.
if you have a whole government bearing down on you with the whole crack epidemic, yeah, you doing all that, right? But they're literally trying to stop us from progressing. Like
I
it's
understand,
a problem.
but
And you keep saying
we're gonna figure it out.
We
Because
gonna figure it out, bro.
I believe
We
we're
will.
bright
We
enough
will.
to
Be honest with you.
overcome it.
Be honest with you, bro. I really think. I don't know why I
We've
feel like
made
this.
great
We're
strides.
gonna figure it out, bro. It's not gonna be in our generation. We're gonna be dead and gone.
We just
But
gotta
I really
do our
think,
part, man.
yeah, we're gonna figure it out,
Think
bro.
about,
we really will.
let me tell you
We
something.
really will.
I'm gonna tell you something that really upsets me about when I think about after that whole Martin Luther King civil rights era. I feel like the boomers really dropped the ball. To them, it was really about being assimilated, and they stopped pushing productive black culture forward. And that's the part where we're having to pick back
Oh,
up.
you got facts on that because
I do have facts on that.
If
Well, I'm not.
you're a young buck and then you say that.
I do. Here are my facts. Here are my facts. Because when once we got out of that era, the black communities, people started to disperse and move into white neighborhoods. Your black hospitals disappeared. These are your communities. The leaders of the communities weren't there anymore because they were living in more,
I've read that before.
affluent
I've read that
areas,
before.
and so that's a part of the breakdown. I'm not saying it's the main factor, but I'm saying that was a huge ball drop.
Well, let me ask you, since you blame them for that, how many Black Lives Matter movements have you been to?
Well, I don't agree with the Black Lives Matter movement at all.
I'm just saying, like, what have you done to progress the black movement since you tried to come?
So when people were going to jail, I was helping bonding people out. There was an organization, there was an activist that was taking on funding that was literally bonding and bailing people out of jail that were on the front lines.
Is that it? Because they were getting their ass whooped.
And then what else am I doing? I'm trying to build generational wealth.
Like, they were probably.
You said that you were saying that people were too worried about getting it for self, and that's what you're trying to.
But here's the thing, though. I'm legitimately trying to help other people.
But you can't blame them. You can't blame them for you saying they dropped the ball on something. But
I'm saying that. But I'm saying
that
that's
you're talking about. That you're not legitimately doing it now.
What I'm saying is we have to get our finances together. That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm.
We know that. I think we all agree with that, though. Yeah.
The problem is people trying to get it for themselves.
We're 50 years like we just kind of got on. Not even kind of got. We just like equal footing.
Listen. The thing is we were kind of had our own.
Hundreds of years head start on us.
Right.
Like what do you expect?
But here's the thing too, though. Like okay, so like, do you think that we didn't have some of the ingenuity and things back?
Oh, we had all that, bro. We had all that.
But
they stole it
because we don't know the rules.
They didn't
know the rules.
The rules didn't matter to us because of
learn the rules. Learn the rules. Play the game. Make them cheat openly. Make them cheat openly.
You're not understanding.
Don't get caught on the technicality.
You're not understanding.
I'm not saying that they're not going to come after
back then. They cheated openly back then. They stole from us, and they didn't. Nothing happened to them. We're always behind the curve. What do you mean?
We're in a better situation.
You say that,
of enforcing the rules that are on the table until they change it, which they will. And when that happens, what did I say? Adapt. That's all we can do until we get to a situation.
Thing is, bro, they can't kill us, dog. We adapt.
I just saw black people die in cold blood by white people, and you say that we're advancing. You're fucking crazy. I just literally saw that on video. What do you mean? Every time a cop kills a black person for no fucking
reason. Listen. Now, again, some of these killings. Some of these killings. Okay, listen. Some of these killings, while morally it's sad to see, some of them are justifiable in that when you're dealing. No. Because I'm not saying that they all are, but what I'm saying is this is one of the reasons why I didn't really fool with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Like that, all the white folks we hear, you have that response. Like, just put it back on yourself. Put it back on them.
Listen.
I think the thing.
I'm always about personal responsibility, right? And how
you have very
in a real world where there's actually things that are in place to work against you. I understand.
I get that.
But bro, do you? So do we tell our kids, hey, everything's working against you? So
yes, that's exactly what
the odds are against you, but you're going to persevere. That's what my dad used to tell me.
You tell, but you're going to persevere, but you don't keep saying you can't do it because odds against you. No, don't say that.
I never said that. I never said you can't.
But every time somebody gives a solution free, you always come with something. Well, we can't do that because they stopping us. Well, every time
y'all made it sound easy.
It's not easy. He never said it was easy. He never said that.
Y'all made it sound easy.
I'm saying that
the Asians can do it. We can do it.
I'm not comparing. I don't like the. You can't. I don't compare. Yeah, no, I can't. But you can't compare. They're right, bro. We can't compare ourselves to the Asians, and we can't do that.
Example of a small number.
Yeah, but
people.
They have.
I'm saying we can do it. We just have to get on.
We can't compare. Once we can't compare, but we also can't sit here and be like, we can't do nothing because they holding us back. We can't do nothing because they holding us
I never said that. I never said that. We just got to be on game. Like you can't just sit there and just be stupid about like. Every time we tried to get on code, like Don, there's been white people bearing down on us to break it up. Like it's just what it is. Like every time we try to come together, they are after us.
I get it, but I don't want to.
But you still gotta keep.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not saying
you still gotta keep trying to come together, bro. We know that. I know the devil's busy. We know that, man.
How do we outsmart them?
You're not getting what I'm saying.
So are you? But this is when you say this. It makes me think that you feel like we're not smart enough.
No,
we can't outthink them. We don't know how to play chess.
Come on, man. Why are you going?
We're just at a bigger disadvantage than any other race.
I know this. We know. He said that. We do. We said that, bro. So what is the next step? We know that. We know that.
And I told you I don't know. But when you try to give a definitive,
okay, then if you don't know, bro, you can't. See, I don't know. It's not.
The answer is keep fighting.
Y'all trying to
exactly keep fighting.
First, you said we need to get on code.
We do need to get on code.
Niggas been getting on code since day one.
No. We've been getting behind movements and leaders. And when the leader gets killed,
I'm giving a realistic
the movement dies.
I'm giving a realistic answer.
Kill a code,
for the answer, but by you trying to give an answer, and every time somebody has been getting on code or trying to create something to go against these white institutions to make something happen.
How are you going about it though?
So I don't. That's not the answer.
You gotta play the game their way. You gotta know the game, and then you gotta play it how they play it.
Okay,
that was my whole point.
Okay,
until they change the rules, and then you gotta figure out the new rules.
And every time they change the rules, who's the rules against?
Okay, again.
You gotta figure. He's saying. I think he's saying this, bro. You have okay. The rules gonna change. So do you stop fighting? Wait, Free. Do you stop fighting, or do you keep fighting?
I'm not saying that.
I'm asking you a question. Do you keep fighting? Yes or no?
We're repeating ourselves.
We are repeating ourselves, but I feel like
but I think we all agree we keep fighting, right? You keep fighting, right?
Yeah.
No choice.
Exactly. So I mean, that's the solution right there. Keep fighting. We know the disadvantages. We know when we try to build something better. We know they stop it. But damn it, keep trying.
Keep trying indeed. Yo, listen. I think this is a good point to kind of like park this. I would love for us to revisit this at a later time. Hopefully, whenever we have Incognito and even Jackass to join us too, because I think that it's good for us to have these type of dialogues, and hopefully we don't get kind of stuck in this logic loop, and we can actually maybe brainstorm and actually come up with some additional solutions or other focuses to
and I think this, bro, we have this focus on the solutions, dog. We know the deck is stacked against us. Like we got we know. Let's focus on the solutions moving forward. Like every time somebody give a solution, we can't always say, well, they gonna stop, dog. We know.
You only gonna get this nigga right. How many times you gonna say this, bro?
Listen.
Get the nigga to say his point again.
Ladies, gentlemen, thank you all for joining us.